All right, we are here. We're here. Yes, I know, dear Blurted Sins. It's been a minute. All right, I'm not sorry.
Yes, an episode that hopefully ages well. We brought on some special guests. We get into our mailbag. I don't know if our listeners love us or if they hate us based on some of these questions, but I'm Demetrius.
And I'm Demetrius.
And Meech presents
the Blurred City Podcast.
All right, so we have our two special guests on. If Meech, you want to introduce them for us?
All right, so this is a very special episode in the damn dear Blurted Sins for... As you guys know, this is the Valentine's Day mailbag episode, and who better to have on the show than our favorite hosts with the most significant others? So, would you like to go ahead and introduce yourself for the good peoples?
Hi, what's up? I'm Meech's girlfriend, Vic.
Hi, what's up? I'm Selena, and I'm Demetrius' girlfriend.
All right, perfect. So with that, we always like to just, when we introduce our guest, what they're into, so we can kind of connect them with the people. So what are kind of things that you've been into growing up, such as like favorite shows, favorite characters, types of things like that?
Well, I mean, like me growing up, I was always into like Teen Nick, so like the end, like TV shows, so things like Degrassi, Stuff of Nowhere. That's what I've always been into.
Yeah, for me, I was definitely into Winx Club and Victorious. Anything musical based or fairy based, I loved.
Yeah, and additionally, as told by Ginger, so all the nostalgia from Nickelodeon. I was a Nickelodeon kid through and through, and then also as well PBS kid by heart. So, between the lines, things like that.
Yeah. Nice. Did you have any like favorite characters growing up?
My childhood favorite character was definitely Elmo. I mean, it was on every day. Outside of that, definitely Arthur. I think he's aged well, just with the mild temperament of children. Yeah.
The Crash Out King.
So,
definitely one of my favorite characters growing up. I never really watched this show as much, but I do enjoy like, the aesthetics of it. And it's like that spy show on Cartoon Network. What was it?
totally Spies.
Yeah, totally Spies. I'm inspired by all three of them. They're basically like the animated version of Charlie's Angels. Definitely Ginger Foutley as told by Ginger. And yeah.
Cool.
Yeah.
Cool. And then, so like, what about now? Like, what are some things you're into now?
Now I'm into everything sword fighting. I really like sword fighting anime. Anything from Naruto Shippuden looks great. Yeah, I just like a good show with a good plot that I can catch up on because I don't watch TV every day. But when I catch up, it's entertaining.
I'm basically into like trash reality shows. It's like America's Next Top Model. I guess like in terms of like animation, I don't really watch that much animation these days, but I guess like documentary style TV shows, so like Office and things like that. So that's what I'm into these days. And that's your Housewives, of course.
Perfect. So with that, we will get into our legal spiegel.
All right, so the purpose of this podcast is to explore digital and print media. All sources we reference are owned by their respective companies, and our thoughts and opinions are strictly our own and reflect our biases or corporate agendas. Your discretion is advised.
All right, so just with housekeeping, we took a break after season 4. We are still on break, but we are dropping our Valentine's Day episode, obviously, the day that you're listening to this. And then we're also going to be dropping our Captain America Brave New World review next week as of this recording. So with that, also leading into season 5, we're going to either do weekly or bi-weekly reviews of Andor season 2. Last of Us season 2, we would do a mid-season finale. I feel bad for people that don't know what happens in the show, and then we will be doing a finale. We will be doing our best to hold the hands of the people that watch that show, because it's about to get crazy.
It get wicked out here.
And then for season 5, we will be coming back for the Thunderbolts, that movie review, and then kicking that off season 5 into the summer. So with that, we are going to get into our main portion, talking about romance and media, specifically TV shows and movies. All right. So, like, what are some of your favorite romance TV shows and movies of all time?
I have a really bad addiction to the Twilight Saga. Not necessarily because it is great cinematic entertainment, but just because I like the storyline of sacrificial love. But granted, this is the first time the girl actually died because the guy was already dead. And then there's also Jacob.
So you like Jacob with a little girl, huh?
Honestly, we're not talking about that. We're talking about
Nah, you
we're not talking about relationship. Okay, we're talking about
we gotta start off somewhere, you know what I'm saying? We gotta bring the elephant.
talking about she adults in the room.
Oh, so we're talking about the adult and then the super old adult in the body of a teenager.
The 63 years.
There's a lot of jokes I'm saving because I don't want to get on an FBI list.
I guess like my favorite romantic movie trope could be like star-crossed, like the star-crossed trope. So definitely like a Romeo and Juliet type. My deep obsession throughout the pandemic was Romeo plus Juliet, the one by Baz Luhrmann version. I was obsessed with that one, and I was just like, I always had a theory that that the ending would always be slightly different, but it wasn't. So,
Have you seen Romeo and Juliet?
yes, I've seen the Rome versions of it. So star-crossed, anything star-crossed related to Romeo and Juliet, about like adjacent TV shows, this is like my thing. So,
Yes. Meech.
I think one of my favorite romance movies is a little known one. It's called Shrek. It's perfectly
Amazing.
It's probably one of the has two of the best romances of all time. We got Shrek and Fiona, and then of course Donkey and the Dragon. All I gotta say is that hey, some of the best romances. I ain't taking no competition.
Nice. For me, my favorite rom-com of all time is Crazy Stupid Love. This is such an incredible one. And I'm not really a rom-com person, but that one is so good and funny. And then the other one, technically it's not a romance story, but it's driven by romance, and that's Up.
Oh yeah.
It is.
Oh yeah, that was amazing.
Such a beautiful love story. I mean, like when I talk about just kind of like the relationship between him and it's Ellie, right?
Yeah.
And just like how that like motivated him towards the end, man, it brings me to tears. Just like the fact, I'm not even gonna get into it, but it just like makes me so emotional. Not to mention the first 15 minutes of the movie where they're like,
I'm not getting into any of the. We ain't gonna get into any of the other love movies where the character is motivated by love. We're looking at you, John Wick.
That is true. That is a love story.
Yeah.
Another one that I really love is A Silent Voice. Technically, it's not a romance, but it is a really beautiful one. That one. I remember the first time I watched it, I was weeping. It was disgusting how bad I was crying watching The Silent Voice.
Here we go. Talk about Pride and Prejudice on this list.
I went for the first time, I want to say, Sam, 3 years ago. It's good.
yeah, I watched it for the first time like last year with my sister. My sister put me onto it, and it's pretty good.
Is it like a long one?
Yeah, it is.
Yeah. That had super long.
Is Pride, Prejudice, and Zombies a movie, or is it?
Yes, yes, it is. It is amazing, sir. Now, what's also amazing is it's actually a 2-part movie. It's called Titanic.
Oh yeah, my mom, she's obsessed with them.
To this day, I know people who watch it every week.
Dang,
Really?
Wow, that's
It's a 3-hour movie.
that's
I'm like,
great.
They just like watch that guy, I guess.
They're sociopaths.
Yeah. And then don't forget the sequel to Titanic. It's called Titanic 2: The Submarine.
So, that's not a plot. Does Lion King count as a love story?
I mean, it has romance in there.
See, because some of these are difficult because it's like romantic elements are weaved in, but it's technically not a romance.
Right. Yeah, Adventure Diaries.
or Star Wars.
That's anyone seen like Valentine's Day or like New Year's Day? It's like one of those movies with like a big.
I know I should talk about it, but I
have it.
Okay, because I watched that for the first time last year and I really enjoyed one of those it's like a big ensemble cast, but it all takes place within a day. So there's like multiple characters. It's having a different experience on the same day.
Going from there, if we transition to TV shows, This Is Us is amazing.
Oh,
Yes. Yes, sir.
yeah, put that on my watch list.
Because it has like the way the first the pilot episode is framed, you're like, oh man, all these different people and stuff like that. But the way it ties in, it's like so incredible. And yeah, This Is Us is definitely something I would always recommend.
Dave, you took mine. You took mine.
Really good. Definitely sad.
Or Boy Meets World. That one had an ideal love story.
Well, I never went with
Oh yes, baby, please.
Baby, please.
Oh no, one for me is New Girl. New Girl is my show. Yes, I know that some people will despise it, but I don't care.
I just really love the Prince episode.
That's fair. In the realm of anime, Meech, do you have one?
Oh yeah, this is actually a pretty big one. Somebody on this podcast may have put me onto it. It's called Fruits Basket. It's definitely a goated TV anime about romance. It's pretty long form. But then if you're talking about like one that incorporates a copious amount of action to there, but if you want to involve some tragedy in there too, Code Geass.
Oh, that's a good one.
Code Geass, it has romance, but it gets tragic immediately.
Would you consider Death Note?
No, it is not. That is one-sided.
What about AOT?
Okay, that one actually might be, because he is motivated out of love. My goat.
Yes, for freedom.
Yes, my glorious 80%.
Oh man, but yeah, one for me is Toradora. Toradora is one of my favorite animes of all time. It's like, for listeners that don't know, it's like kind of the start of the tsundere type genre, where it's just like, oh yeah, this one guy, you have tsundere girl, and then they but I like how they frame it at the start, where they're trying to help each other hook up with their friends, and just seeing how that relationship kind of frames from there.
Now, do we count Evangelion?
It depends on the continuation. That's the hard part. There's so many continuations to it.
Do the rebuild or the original?
If it's the original, I feel like no, but I feel like with the rebuild, perhaps.
Yeah. Now, Avatar.
It's controversial because it's like, I know Aang and Katara were supposed to be together, but Katara and Zuko had their moment.
Hey, yo.
I'm a Zuko fan.
I mean, one person fell in love with the moon, so.
And it rebounded real quickly. But nah, I can't. Nah, Zuko, he has his girl already.
Yes, we will talk about the other series when we get later into some of these mailbag questions, because I have thoughts on the romances that occurred in Korra.
If it's the one I'm thinking of, I have thoughts.
But transitional to there, what are some of your favorite couples of all time, like framed in media? I know for me, Peter and MJ is like something, I know it can be toxic from time to time, but actually when I was thinking about it, even though I'm not a huge Superman fan, Superman and Lois is like probably the best couple of all time in media to me, because they're like the only superhero couple where the writers actually know how to write that romance.
Yeah.
And then a lot of the other ones, I feel like it's like, hey, let's build to them getting together, but we don't know how to keep them together and keep the drama unless like we want to fridge them. So let's break them up and they get them back together. Both Superman and Lois, it's like they build each other, and it's like they're kind of like locked in. So I really like how that romance is portrayed.
And I think my favorite couple of all time, and this is a Degrassi version. And those of you who watch Degrassi, you know. But Claire and Eli from season 10 of Degrassi, one of my favorite couples of all time.
Yeah.
I was late to the game, but I wanted Naruto and Hinata.
Yes.
Okay, she got him from the beginning. He loved her at the end. It worked out. Okay. It's a genuine love. It's a persevering love, and I just after watching Shippuden, I felt like, dang, do I need a great ninja war to find the man of my dreams? Because it's looking like it. But thank the Lord, it didn't end that way.
I'm not gonna lie, I love that romance. The only issue for me is that, like, in the middle of Shippuden, she's like, hey, Naruto, I love you. I literally died fighting the toughest ninja ever. And they never address it until the movie.
Because this man immediately went into berserker mode. That's the thing. It's like he don't remember nothing before.
Like, he crashed out more than, like, when he did for, like, when he first, well, not first met Orochimaru, but when he caught up with Orochimaru again, like, he was literally about to unleash the Nine Tails, and it's like they never, I understand that they had a water fight. Like, it's like, hey, Hinata, remember when we fought Pain? You know? Let's spin the block on this conversation.
All right, y'all. Well, for mine, I have to get deep into my Star Wars bag. And, I got to talk about it. Talk about one of the greatest couples of all time. We're looking at Luke Skywalker and Mara Jade from the Legends continuity. And they're like a real deep personal couple. Sure, she tried to kill him multiple times, but, we looked past that part. We looked past that part because they grew from it. And he helped her to overcome her trauma. And from there, it was all smooth sailing until their nephew decided to murder her. But we're gonna move past that part. We're gonna move that. Not gonna have something to do with them. Exactly.
That's the one here.
Exactly. I mean, we're not gonna talk about Anakin Padme, but just because I know somebody has deep thoughts that. Fortunately, they're not on this podcast today. So,
all right. So with that, shifts that you wish would have happened.
Koga and you could go back because my God, every time this man was in Kikyo's presence, he was ready to leave Kagome behind. Koga would never. Okay, that's what I'm going to say about that.
Daggers on it.
Inuyasha had a loyalty problem.
But I mean, his girl was reincarnated into another girl.
To another girl. Like, he literally is not cheating on her because it's the same person.
He made her feel secondhand.
It's to herself. To herself. What you mean?
It's a victim of circumstance.
Exactly. Dang.
I guess. Again, Degrassi related. I watched so much Degrassi. It's crazy. Emma and Sean. They never ended up together in the end. I don't know what the writers were thinking, but they never ended up in the end. So, I mean, Sean for Degrassi.
Honestly, I was big on Ichigo and Rukia for the longest time, and then they started shoehorning more Orihime in there. I'm like, oh,
I was gonna say, what about Orihime?
No, and then it was kind of like building up to Ichigo and Rukia, and then they started adding more Orihime in there. She was getting more of the spotlight. So they just like, okay, that's who he's going to eventually end up with. And also, Reggie was getting a lot of screen time with Rukia too. So it was like, oh, yep, there's your ships, folks. Go.
Yeah, I think I was split on that, but then Orihime was like such parallels to Hinata.
Yeah,
it's like, so I kind of gotta rock with that. And I also, like, in anime, I usually root for the childhood friend over the tsundere, and the childhood friend always loses. It's, like, diabolical how much they lose to, like, the tsundere type character with that. So I have a few. Subaru and Rem, I went on the rant with my first, in our first podcast. He does not need to be with Amelia, but that's here nor there. This is technically, I don't know if it's spoiler or not, because I don't know how they'll do the anime, but Deku and Ochaka, I just feel like, again, writers don't know how to do it. It's like they, instead of like building a romance and then going from there, it's like, oh, the very last episode or the very last season, they'll get together and we don't have to write that aspect of it. And then, like, I kind of know what happens in the manga, but I don't know if they're going to change it in the anime. And then, what's the last one? Amari and Aruma from one of the ones I'm watching. It's in the process. It's from Aruma Goes to Demon School, which is a show I really love. All right, so from there we're going to transition into reality dating shows.
All right. So in regards to reality dating shows, stuff like Love is Blind or The Bachelor, The Black Bachelorette. I was about to say Blackshirette.
I thought you were saying the blackening.
Nah, that's crazy. There's no romance in blackening, but honestly, if there was, it would be hilarious.
Well, technically there was one. It was toxic. It was secret, but it was there.
I didn't write it, but it was there.
I mean, it was there, but it wasn't there. Say that, but we're not talking about the blackening today because we did a whole episode on that, and just me wheezing throughout the entire episode because I was in here for my life. But yeah. So in regards to stuff like reality dating shows and whatnot, what are y'all thoughts on that? And why? Do you guys like reality dating shows like that, or if not, why?
I used to like Love and Hip Hop for toxic reasoning. I thought my life was so peaceful. I gotta watch these people fall apart. But outside of that one, I've just seen a lot of the pop balloon ones. And with the pop balloon ones, it's like
Crazy.
the reason these people be popular is not valid. Some of them are valid. Like some people, I feel like the people who didn't pop are the crazy ones. But on others, it's like, dang, you popped the balloon because your ankles was there. She put those on. Come on, let's check the face card first.
Gotta come correct.
Yes, they'll be like, I'm an entrepreneur, immediate pop. And then I seen another one. It's like, okay, you pop the balloon because they pop someone else's balloon. Now you don't miss it out on your chance and love trying to back up the other people. Isn't this a competition? But no, I don't really like the reality dating shows. I feel like they are attacking people's confidence, and it's too many competitors. Like in the real world, you probably only got 3 competitors max, if any. You go on a show, you're going against 10 people. It's too much.
However, I love reality shows. Listen, recently I've been watching The Ultimatum.
Yes.
I've been watching The Ultimatum. It's messy. I know. I think I'm on season 3. I lost track, but I've been watching The Ultimatum. The Bachelor, Grant is their current person right now, and I'm on episode 2. I haven't seen it yet, but I'm going to. But I've heard spoilers that he's been singing, so we're gonna find out.
He's been singing?
He been singing?
Yeah. Maybe I don't want to know.
I'm scared. Yeah. Who are you?
Well, they're trashy but entertaining. That's the best way to put it. Usually I don't like watching it by myself. I like watching it with people because it's like we can just be like, yo, this is wild. It's like, are you seeing what I'm seeing? Really the reunion shows be crazy too. But my thing with it, and I can kind of get into it now or later, but it's not real. Like, even if it's quote unquote reality, but I mean, you have to think that the producers, they pick certain people. You can see in a season, like with The Ultimatum, something that because I'm watching it for Friend, you can tell, I kind of hate using this word, but you can tell who the crazy one is by how much the cameras focus on them. It's like, why you keep coming back to this person repeatedly. It's like they're trying for you to get to know them because they know this person is going to wow out later. So that for me is just and then also just the different islands thing. Like, you're going into these resorts that are paid for. You're going to these beautiful islands, having these manufactured dates and stuff like that. And it's like, it's not real because in real life, you have to go to work. You have issues and stuff like that, where with these shows, it's like, okay, let's go away for a month, 2 months to this fantasy world and focus on love. That's not real life.
So it is. But yeah, I actually kind of I like it because, again, it's very entertaining. I'm looking at you, Love is Blind, especially this latest season with Habits.
Is it worse than the used to?
No, nothing could be worse than the Houston one. Only because again, it paints us in a bad light. I'm not gonna lie. We got done so dirty that season. So because of that, I can't put anything above it. You have to do something astronomically horrendous for you to top the Houston season for me. But even with that, it's just like, oh yeah, it's very entertaining. I know it's fake for the most part. I'm just here to turn my brain off, have fun, maybe do some conspiracy theories that's like, all right, who's about to end up with who? Say, oh, they about to break up? Bet. And then imagine I just don't stand a chance on the show.
Have any of you have seen Married at First Sight?
Yes.
Yes.
No.
Married at First Sight is wild.
Yeah.
It's insane. You gotta walk down the very first time you see your partner is when you walk down the aisle. And that's such a risk.
Ooh.
But I enjoy it though.
Yeah.
I enjoy it.
The episode that comes to mind is the one where the guy picks the lady up and then takes her to this trash house and then proceeds to say, I was testing you. Sir, I've already come across the world to be with you and you want to test me when I can't go home? Mm-hmm. Yeah.
All right. So with that, what are some of the wildest moments or reality shows that you watched? Because I saw one that recently, really yesterday, that has been killing me. With Montoya, por favor. Yo, I did a deep dive. I was looking at backstories. I was watching part 2. I was dying. Sweetie content. It was so funny. So apparently, from what I saw, is that she, like, I'm trying to be really nice of how I describe this. So she was with the dude in the pool, and then she slept with him first. And then he was like, he saw that, so he's like, yo, I'm gonna get revenge on her. And then he ended up getting a lap dance, which that wasn't a lap dance. That was the craziest thing I've ever seen. And then she saw that. She was like, okay, bet. And then that's when what we saw with Montoya running cinematically, like Captain Irwin convinced him to go to the beast type. So that's probably the craziest thing I've seen, other than stuff that happened in the Ultimatum. So,
Hey, I have a choice. I'm trying to decide between Ultimatum, everything that happens in the Houston season of Love is Blind, or No Neck Ed in 90 Day Fiance.
Oh, I forgot about
No Neck Ed is scary. Do we need to talk about No Neck Ed?
I don't know about this or what No Neck did.
Man, what didn't he do? All right. So, No Neck Ed on 90 Day Fiance, you know, he a guy, he's short, he has no neck, and he's portly. I'm just gonna leave it at that.
I think
But-
no neck would hold baby. Okay.
No, I had to paint the picture. Now, imagine this man, like he goes to he goes and gets this woman from the Philippines, you know, 90 Day Fiance, 90 days till you get married. And one day is like he decides to, okay, I'm gonna like dress myself down, and he goes to, you know, shampoo his hair. The problem is that he decides to shampoo his hair with mayonnaise. Yeah, he says it's supposed to, you know, make my hair shine the best. Like, I don't believe in products and whatnot. I'm like, no, sir, that's mayonnaise. You put that on bread. You put that on your sandwiches. Or you put that in your mouth and you eat that. And this is the same jar of mayonnaise that he eats with. The same one I use to, and he did it on purpose. I'm just like, sir, that, and unironically, that was the first thing I ever saw about No Neck Ed. And I just need to know all the lore about the man afterwards.
That's crazy.
And that was, I think, his second or third fiance.
Oh,
Yes, this man is a regular on 90 Day Fiance.
they said we tested the product and we're sending it back.
They return fee. What about y'all?
I got a question for y'all. Do y'all count catfish as like a dating?
Yes.
Yes.
No, yeah.
1,000%.
Sort of, kind of, sort of. Kind of, sort of. Well, yes, in a sense, but more than investigative love reality show.
Yeah.
Which is still entertaining because, I don't know, after all these years with all this technology, you still can't figure it out. It's still a catfish.
Yeah.
That's insane. Like, you still can't figure out if the person you're talking to, but you're sending, like, your 401k to, catfish. Really?
Ooh, that's a lot of information.
Victoria.
Honestly, I'm going to go with the OG Love and Hip Hop. Only because what's the hip hop? There's no more hip hop on there.
Yeah.
Okay, I could think of one character, Cardi B. Everybody else is strictly about the love. It should be called hate in hip hop because ain't no relationship successful.
Love and hate.
Hate in hip hop.
Yeah.
Because that's crazy.
I know one thing for me, the ultimatum, my favorite part of every like version of it is like the first 2 episodes, like when they first break up and they start dating others. Because you always know there's that one person that is just like, they're looking at them, they're like, why are you talking to her? And it's like, dude, y'all are not together. I get so heated. I'm like, y'all aren't together. They can, you know what the show is. Like, why are you mad?
I'm on the show for a reason.
Oh, no, there was one in season 2 where the girl, she slapped him and she was going crazy. And then I was like, oh, I want her to be around this entire series. And she left the show because she was pregnant. Oh, and I'm like, dude, how do you not know this as a producer? So they rectified that. But other shows that I kind of like growing up, Flavor of Love, I Love New York, I Love Great Giant.
Oh, no. I'll never forget the Flavor of Love when they had them people cooking and that girl put a raw chicken in the microwave. It's I just wanted to give it a sweet flavor.
That's crazy. Oh man. So why do y'all think the couples rarely last on there?
I think they just get caught up in the romance aspect. You're enclosed, you have no cell phones. The real world avalanche isn't really like engulfing you. Like real life stuff isn't the fan, like finances and health reasons and family. So you get so caught up in like, oh, it's just the 2 of us on this secluded island aspect, and that's so easy to get swept up that you forget about like the real world's problems.
I feel like the lab reps, like they're in a controlled environment developing something, and it could be a connection or it could be just the natural human connection taking place. Like there's not many people here, so of course I'll choose you. But then when you get out into the real world, you're like, maybe you were only the best option in this enclosed scenario.
Right. Yeah. And then also I think like the timeline of an engagement at the end kind of speeds that process up. So it's just like in their heads, just like, oh, I gotta find a person to tie my knot to or tie down to by the end of this, or else I'm wasting my time. You know, X, Y, and Z. I mean, and not being together, but then like once they get out into the real world, they realize like, hey, this ain't working, or maybe like, hey, you don't have like these life skills that like, I need in a partner. Besides, so
yeah. I think also part of it could be, motivations, you know what I'm saying? Because like with a lot of these reality TV shows, like you're getting paid to be on there. You're getting paid, and you're potentially getting paid royalties afterwards, depending on like what the contract says. So many of them's like, oh yeah, I'm going to do like all this crazy stuff. Like I'm going to eventually find love. But if like, hey, the ratings are like, oh yeah, we're rooting for this person to fall in love. Like, all right, cool. Like I'm going to keep doing that. And then potentially I can like get all the money, get all my fame, get my 15 minutes of fame out there, and then dip. And then eventually, like once, like, hey, the marriage is done, and you're out there in the real world, you just be like, oh yeah, things didn't work out because it was never a thing in the first place. It was all fabricated, and it's for at least one person's perspective.
It's a good point. And then like the health aspect of it in terms of like how it's portrayed, like how unhealthy do y'all think it is?
On a scale of 1 to 10, -5.
God.
There's nothing healthy about it. It's not realistic. It's not creating foundational bonds. Also, like I said earlier, with keeping 10 people versus in the real world, maybe 3 max. Some of these dating shows, they be kissing on there, and it's not the most sanitary environment.
I don't think that's true.
Yeah.
Knowing what I see for a living, you don't want to do that. It's not. It may be fun in the moment, but you don't know what these people are into. Just have a conversation, you know?
I honestly really think, is it healthy? Not really. I just think it's just like, there's a lot of world stuff that gets into it, like lust, and then also as well just like passion. And then just like the fantasies, just like being with a person. So like basically being caught up in like an idea of what that person is and who that person who can and what they can become. So basically, like, no, not really. I give it like a -2 on my end, because it's just like an idea and a fantasy that is built around, that doesn't have like a deeper connection or a deeper bond. It's just built on just like limerence.
I don't to give it like an actual 1 out of 10, only because like, yeah, I do agree with like most of y'all's points, but then there's also those outlier cases where it does work out.
Yeah.
The outlier cases where, hey, it like those people are still married to this day, and they got married in The Bachelor season 1, and they still married to this day. You're like, yo, well, that's like it kind of worked out, so that's why I only give it a 1, not a -200,000.
Well, like we mentioned, like it's manufactured. Like the people on there are like objectively attractive. Like there's like a wide range of what people find attractive. Actually, it was really interesting. Apparently, y'all can kind of speak to this, but women prefer dad bods over 6-packs.
Yes.
Which I was surprised about. But it's like, the thing is, guys love 6-packs. So that's what we fantasize. That's our ideal selves. So that's what kind of like they pick on there.
Yeah. It's dad bods every day, all day. Only because the effort that it takes to get that 6-pack, like, then you're gonna want me to go to the gym with you. I don't want to do that. Like, I feel like I respect the effort that you put into your parents, but I also would respect more the effort you would put into this relationship. And that's going to involve us not going to the gym. Because like, I really like the gym. So
the real reason comes out.
It's like, and now it all comes to the surface.
All right, yeah, we can transition from there. Just like general thoughts on like how romance is displayed in fiction TV movies. It doesn't have to be reality. So just like kind of what y'all think about that.
I think Titanic really has set a number on romance for me, because it's been like my normalized view of how romance should be. Like, oh, you meet this person, oh, I'll fall in love. Or just like in this state, I'm like, oh, everything's all fine and dandy. And then the real life stuff is
Then you die. Then you're left on the door.
You left on the door, you die or something like that. So I guess like Titanic has done a number on me. That in Barbie movies, and I guess like the adventure that they have to go on, they don't really know each other like that. But in the end, they get married. But I guess my hypothesis theory is that the stuff that they've gone through, like the hardships, kind of gives them that test of like, okay, we can go through this in a marriage without having like a deeper conversation. So that has done a number on me. Like, you got to go through the hard stuff first, or you just got to have like this like little limerence and not really think about the hard stuff until the hard stuff just won't do. Okay, well, we got to figure it out, or we sink or swim.
Honestly, TV shows, movies, they depicted multiple love stories to be like, some of them are like you fall in love in 24 hours and then you randomly connect years later to remember what this person looks like. I'm bad with faces. So yeah, I think I always knew these movies and TV shows were unrealistic, but it was always entertaining to watch. I think the thing that I often carry over is the music. I imagine the music of these love stories in my natural life. I'm like, okay, and if I hear the music, if I feel the zine like on Hotel Transylvania, I think that's running forward. So I think definitely living for the music or the connection in that aspect has definitely spoken to me.
I think one thing that also did a number on like topic of relationships is what the CW does every single time, which is having one tiny miscommunication gets blown up into straight up seasons worth of drama or
All American.
It's like, I'm looking at you, The Flash. I'm looking at you,
Arrow.
I'm looking at you, what was it? What was the one that came out a while ago?
I mean, there's a lot that.
Just too many, you know. Vampire Diaries.
Vampire Originals.
Yeah, just all of that. Smallville, another one. Just, you know, different stuff like that where it's like, oh yeah, it's like in the relationship, like, oh, you and your significant other, like, maybe like one of y'all saw something and then y'all misinterpreted it, and then now you just like out here in your feelings, and y'all end up having like major arguments because of it. When in reality, I think like, at least if you're like both like really healthy individuals, like you gotta talk about it and like have healthy conversations about it. Now it may be reality for some people, but I think if it is reality for some of y'all, then it sounds like each of y'all need to get some work done.
That kind of like goes to my point of like Superman and Lois, where it's like they like have those issues and they're able to talk about it. They're able to progress. Like the Superman and Lois TV show that just happened. Like I heard it was like incredible, and just like they were together through that whole time, but they worked through the issues. But I feel like a lot of writers are like, hey, we don't know how to write a couple. We just know how to write them getting together. So let's keep breaking them up and then getting them together. And we think we're progressing, but to the viewer, it's annoying because I'm watching Lucifer right now. Oh, dude, I'm on season 5. I'm like, y'all either got to get together or not. Like, I understand why, like, every reason why the main character and like the detective don't get together makes sense. It's just like at a certain point, it's either move on or like get together. Yeah, just like Invincible and all right, so with that, we can transition. Oh, do y'all have your random fan theories related to romance?
I really don't have one, but I do have one trope that I enjoy, and it's enemies to lovers trope. I really enjoy like the tension between two people that hate each other, but eventually that hate turns into love. That's what it should be, so.
That belligerent tension.
That's turns into love. I love that. I love that for these guys.
Like, I'm gonna kill you. I'm lying.
Honestly, though, when you bought a Vampire Diaries, it restored a love story to me with Klaus and Caroline, because that was a good one for me. It's like, he's a bad guy, but is he really the bad guy? You know, and I mean, yeah, you know, he killed her. God, he I don't think he killed her, but like he did kill her boyfriend's mom, which is bad. But he also did a lot of things that helped her on her journey, and she was the most successful vampire of them all. So.
All right, from there, we're going to transition into our mailbag, and based on some of these questions, we might be running like Montoya. All right, so for our first question coming from Donovan, what is your shared nerd interest with your significant?
I think we should go ahead and go first on this one. So first things up is Fruits Basket, because she got me into that. Loved it. At the time I got reincarnated as a slide. Yep. Both love that show. Bleach. You know, we both deep into the Bleach bag. I managed to get her into Star Wars.
That was a dream.
It was well worth it.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Anything else you want to think of?
That we both like?
Yeah.
That's the big question.
I'm sure we're both into Naruto.
Yeah,
I'm sure.
I'm pretty sure, yeah.
But I think I like it more.
Nah, I think we both like it equally.
All right. I need that. The wine. No, you know what?
Because I like her grinding the manga. There it is at day one. All right. Do you want to crash out?
I mean, Desperate Housewives, I don't really count that as nerdy, though.
Nerdy though, yeah. The Spy Family. That's the Spy Family.
Oh, we did watch the
The movie.
You gotta watch the TV show.
I gotta watch the TV show.
We're playing Man and Madon together.
Yes. We gotta save our people.
Wait, how many people died so far?
So far, nobody
died.
in the last episode. It's so funny because when we were playing, she freaked out.
Panic.
And I was like, freaked out. But the thing is like, if she had not freaked out and like actually like given me the controller earlier before, I would have killed the glasses too.
Dang.
I would have killed him if so the freak out was good, so that was funny. So I gotta think of another one of those.
We've been watching Attack on Titan,
Yes.
and that's been a process. And then seeing those large naked people, and I'm just like, no.
All right, yeah, so that's definitely been a process, but I think that's about it. All right, so our next question comes from Dalton. With rumors of the new X-Men movie starting to come up, what 6 to 8 members would you want to see on the team, since there have been various lineups over the years, or if there's a dark horse you want to see?
Rogue, top of the line. I think we should let Jean stay out of this one. Because every time she's in it, she's killing more people than she's saying it. Let her sit this now. Wolverine, of course, since he wanted to come back.
Mungo.
See, that's tough because since he is like the older version, because I was thinking, yeah, Wolverine, but like that different version, I kind of want to transition, but I don't know how you can do that now.
I mean, there's like two ways. There are 2 ways you can do it. Like, you have a new Wolverine with a new actor.
But people would be like, yo, bring Hugh back. That was incredible.
Or you have X-23 take up the mantle.
That's a good point.
Yeah. I was like saying, let me get some redemption for that boy Scott and give him the X-Men 97 treatment. We need to get my boy Sync in here. We need we need Gambit in there. We need the Cajun man. The Cajun. We need the Cajun man. Oh, but look at him. And then, of course, we need my boy. We need Magneto to be All right. For that, I'm honestly excluding Professor X. See, this was hard because I want it to be like a different team, but you gotta have Cyclops. But the issue is like once I have Cyclops, now I need Jean Grey for that storytelling. Yeah.
They're almost like that to him. Even if I did like Madeline, I'm just copying X-Men 97.
Or you can do Emma.
That's a good point.
Basically replace.
But I feel like sometimes she's a villain though. And like that's what she's.
Yeah. Dang, that's a
Storm for sure. You gotta have Storm.
Oh yeah.
Or, let's say.
I was at BLM.
And then Nightcrawler, that's my favorite X-Men other than Wolverine.
Yeah.
Beast, obviously. Maybe we get the Crazy Beast. So this is where it's kind of like hard. I want to get Jubilee. I need some youth in it. But when I was like, oh, I want to have Rogue in it. And then I was like, dang, but Gambit is really popular. But if you want to take them out, Cloak and Dagger.
Oh. Are they mutants though?
It depends on the storytelling of it. I mean, like, I was about to say Kamala. Miss Marvel. Miss Marvel is not a mutant in the comics. She's an Inhuman, and they were like, "Oh, let's make her a mutant." So that's the thing. Like, because I feel like Cloak and Dagger. I saw they were members of the X-Men eventually, and that can kind of replace the Rogue and Gambit romance aspect of it.
Okay.
Colossus and Magic.
See, there's a lot of Colossus recently. This the silver guy, right?
Yeah, only in Deadpool.
He was in the first few X-Men, right?
Yeah.
Oh yeah, that's right. Oh, dang, I completely forgot about it.
So I was trying not to do too much repeat, but at the same time, you have to have some of the certain established X-Men characters.
Yeah.
All right. So for the next question, all right, from Jamie, Sword of the Jedi. Will you be watching Captain America as Valentine's Day movie? And what are your predictions for the impact on the MCU? Well, for us, we're looking at Paddington 3.
Yes.
Even though you haven't finished Paddington 2.
And I will catch up on that.
Predictions for the impacts on the MCU.
Red Hulk.
I'm gonna be honest with you. Just the vibe of it. I feel like Marvel don't really care about this and Thunderbolts too much. I feel like they care about the Fantastic Four.
Yeah.
The only thing I can think about is that they're setting stuff up. But I mean, even if you introduce the Red Hulk, they've done the Green Hulk so dirty that I don't know what you can pull from that. And I don't want to see him in this movie. Like, because of how he is, like the nerd Jehovah Witness. Turn him into. I don't know, because like they could have easily tied this into Secret Wars.
Yep.
Not Secret Wars. Secret Invasion. But then they like didn't do anything with Secret Invasion into the Marvels. So I don't think they're going to do anything with that. So I don't know what the impact on the MCU is.
Honestly, so what I'm thinking about when it comes to Captain America, I'm thinking like this is going to be like a new kind of, a brand new world for Captain America, especially because like Anthony Mackie, he really been out here pushing in and like pushing the BLM agenda, which actually might mean that he might get because people are already getting mad at him as is.
I saw,
even though he's saying the exact same thing Chris Evans has been saying, but
DEI Captain America. I'm not here for it,
man. but in any case, it's like, all right, this is a new wave for Captain America. I think it's gonna be like perhaps maybe a new trilogy for at least his version of Cap.
I think at maximum we get an idea of who the new Avengers are.
Yes, definitely. So yeah, and then the largest scale impact, the only thing of note is just Red Hulk gonna be out there, and we gonna see maybe a new version of the Thunderbolts that actually has the goated team of Red Hulk, Agent Venom, Punisher, Elektra, and Ghost Rider, and Deadpool. I need all 6 of them monsters.
Wait to introduce Ghost Rider, I'm gonna lose my mind. But
I like one thing. I love Ghost Rider. Like that's my guy for real. I'll just walk around till 108. Like,
yes,
so that I think that would match though.
it would. If they did Dark Avengers, but they're not. So with that, next question, what are your thoughts on the new Spider-Man show? Speaking of DEI, I believe the voice actor for it said something crazy. He said it wasn't woke, but I haven't watched it. I don't really intend on watching it, so I don't really have thoughts on it.
Honestly, all I know, I've just seen clips and at least like reviews of just how they've been doing one character, and just like how I was like, oh yeah, they talking about the realness of being black in New York. I'm like, yes, yeah, that's about right. Will I be watching it? I don't know. Maybe like when the season's done, I'll just binge it all in a day.
All right. Something you really want your partner to watch, but you're holding out on. If I answer it in reverse, you mentioned The White Lotus. I don't really have any interest in watching White Lotus.
Really? But it's really good though.
That's what I've heard. I don't know.
It's really good. I'm going to put you on somehow, some way. I'm going to find a way. Put you on.
Yeah, I think he already knows My Happy Marriage on Netflix.
My Happy Marriage is good.
I love it.
I just haven't had time.
The season one is fire. Quite literally. What about what's it called? High School Musical.
I let him slide on that one.
Even though I don't have Star Wars, I don't know how. Listen. On one of our date nights, right? I told him, like, okay, we're going to pick between 2 movies, Rogue One or High School Musical. I mean, I put the option out there. Rogue One. Rogue One was good. Yeah, Rogue One was amazing, but she chose Rogue One.
He got the Star Wars wave, and I liked it. I was like, okay, this wasn't really an even exchange, because I don't feel like High School Musical carries over into adulthood as much.
All right.
Like Twilight.
Hottest unpopular take relating to your partner's favorite fandom.
I mean, I believe I mentioned it earlier when it comes to Twilight. About all the pedophilia thing.
It's bad. I know.
No, you don't understand just how bad it gets.
I think for me, Attack on Titan, the way you go crazy over it, that's it. I don't any commentary on that.
You're killing people.
This is not it. exactly enthusiastic.
It's always about mine.
I watch it, but then like I'm also like, okay, where are we going next? What's the next gig?
It's an unpopular opinion.
The unpopular opinion for Star Wars?
No, for one of my fans.
You already know what I'm going to talk about. Anakin killing his baby mama. Because why would you do that? I get it, you're mad. You knew she was pregnant. You know that.
Listen.
It hasn't aged well.
Listen. Let me justify it. let me justify drunk on the dark side.
It's his wife.
Drunk on the dark side. Dark side makes everybody bond.
All right. So the next question specifically for Victoria: how scared are you for this year's Brits Awards?
I'm sorry, what?
How scared are you for this year's Brit Awards?
Brit Awards.
I heard One Direction reunion might happen. That's the whole
What? I love when they're, oh no, but they're missing one.
Yeah.
All others are crying when that happens.
My sister cried too.
I don't know if I'll be able to. No, I'm not gonna watch that. No. Wow.
Okay, now you gotta cry. Yeah, easy.
Now I gotta listen to One Direction for the rest of the day.
Okay. What are some Valentine's mistakes you learned the hard way?
Mm-hmm.
Don't give a girl candy or gifts or anything like that. Don't go to the extra mile, especially if you know she's not interested in you.
I'm a piggyback off of that. This is high school, so you don't have to.
Yeah,
I got one.
This is 2000.
All right, so with mine, it's kind of like what Meech is. So like Valentine's Day is like one of my least favorite holidays because I personally believe if you can't tell me you love me the other 364 days of the year, don't waste your time telling me on Valentine's Day. But don't think that Valentine's Day will do the work that the rest of the year that you haven't put the effort in. That's what I will say.
Mm-hmm.
All right.
Don't get caught up in the hype. Like on Instagram, it's episode easy to get caught up with like the balloons and like the fancy gifts and stuff like that, and the fancy restaurants. But it's about like the quality time y'all spend together. And another thing, just in general, never mix up your anniversary gift with your birthday present.
I feel you on that. I think consumerism of it, though. How many bears or stuffed animals are you going to fill my room with? Like, literally, there's other ways to say I love you and I care about you without you getting this tiny desk bear every year at the same time, in the same color.
And that's a mistake you learn.
Just do something more creative.
All right, going to Sarah, who obviously hates us. Meech, do you want me to ask this first question, or are we using the spirit of wisdom?
We're gonna be wise on this one.
All right.
We're gonna be wise on this.
What's the hardest thing you're willing to compromise in a relationship?
Especially moving.
Reasonable. All right. For me, I'd say like obviously faith, and then just like kind of like not switching up who I am. So like writing is something that's super huge to me. Obviously, nerddom and stuff like that. So I feel like if I would have to, like, obviously I can't play video games 10 hours a day, like in a relationship, but like just like giving that up and then all of a sudden just being like, yo, I'm listening to classical music and country music 24/7, and you know, things like that, like writing dissertations and non-fictional stuff like that. Just like giving up who you are to like satisfy someone else's needs. Obviously, you make compromises by that aspect of it.
I would say letting go some of the morals just to keep the relationship, just to like settle. I think knowing when it's not working out, and you just want to keep pushing it just because you don't want to be lonely. I think that's something you can't compromise on.
Just playing that from Tyler Perry, but Dia, I feel like she.
I feel like I do.
Because she's like, I'm having a time.
The hardest thing I'm willing to compromise. I would say definitely my career. I'm willing to compromise that. Yeah.
Right. Dope. So if your partner were to say the same things as you, what would your ideal date be?
All right. Lay this out right. All right, here we go. Step one. All right, we go out, all right? We go out, we have ourselves a nice little, a little date on the picnic, picnic in the park. It's a nice, cool, breezy day. It's amazing. And then we take a little bit further, a walk, right? And next thing you know, we're in a field. In this field, right?
What kind of field?
Just a plain flat field. And then you just see two lightsabers in the ground. We each pick up a blade and we both go to tentacle. And we both just go at each other and you just go at me.
What about over a foam pit?
Remember so far. The trolls are the one. Hey, no. Now we need to make sure somebody has the high ground. Just don't underestimate my power. And then they cut down immediately.
Okay, no, it just sounds fun. If we could get light show fireworks, then oh my gosh.
I just thought of something crazy. Yep. But also say that, how some of the fireworks, you can shoot it at people and straight war. We have a war. Like, folks are shooting fireworks, we're coming. And then we're charging in the middle of the battlefield.
That would be dope.
Yeah. And we film it. For prosperity, for the children.
For blackmail. Alright, you too.
We'd be cosplaying. I think about the questions you kind of ask me sometimes. Like, if I wear the Paddington suit to the Paddington movie, would you still like it? I'm like, yeah, just don't embarrass me.
Well, I dress up like the lizard for
Wicked.
Yes.
I wasn't expecting you to dress up. I thought you were just joking.
The shirt jacket for.
But then, you were just like, here I am, and you were dressed like it. This is a tag. And I get
something like it.
Oh yeah, but definitely cosplaying. I'm a simple girl, I take a salsa dance class where we completely obliterate all the other couples there, and then we go and we have street tacos. Yes, that's really my combo right there. And then we end off the night walking along an area with a bunch of lights because I love Christmas lights. And that's it. Real simple. And then on my side, definitely doing a knitting class, a sewing class. Probably we'll do something with the senior citizens and do a little knitting class together. But definitely doing a sewing class, going outside, going on a walk, going to the park, listening to music, trading off our music ideas.
For me, it would be a true anime binge. Like a true one. Because I can't really binge long form TV shows, if it's 50, 40 minutes and stuff like that. And it's I can't do that. But a true hey, we're not leaving the couch for the next 2-3 days until we finish the season. Well, obviously just leaving stuff like. But animes go by real quick with the seasons and stuff like that. So it's just get the snacks, whatever. Or just a convention where we're both locked into it. Or an event. Where it's not one is going because of the other.
Right, yeah.
It's we're both equally locked into it.
Exactly.
That would be. All right.
This goes back to my cosplay idea.
All right. Sorry for not answering the first question, Sarah. But
I'm not.
Such is life. All right. From the next person, Jenny Q. Well, pretend I don't know who this is. All right. Any couple from a TV show or movie that writers put together and you were absolutely not. Amelia and Subaru. It literally makes me so mad that they're together. That's all I have to say. I hate them as a couple so much.
I can't think of any besides that.
Inuyasha Kagome.
I don't hate them together. I just think there's better options.
Inuyasha Kikyo.
I think let's go back to fruit baskets because Tito shouldn't have had a no happy ending. And Tito ended up with the uncle.
Yep.
Man, she didn't deserve that. But then again, that leads to another argument. Because I'm definitely sure he was about, 10 years older than her?
At least, yeah.
Yeah, problem. So I like that. I think Ashito should have sat and reflected alone. But I get it. I get it.
Someone said that word in Bella.
Really?
I said some would say that. Or,
Bella should die give birth. Yeah.
but for me, oh, dang it, I just lost it. Oh, no. It was a good one. It was a good one.
I honestly really think Spitter and Emma from Degasty. Again, no, nothing against Spitter, because Spitter was such a great character. I will never understand why the writers put them together towards the end of that Degasty movie. And I think it's just like a writer to spit, because everything that's been happening between the two characters and the breakups and stuff, but I'll never understand it.
Oh, dang, I just remembered it. Cora.
Oh, yes, Cora. Yes, Cora. I forgot. That was Cora. Cora was toxic. Cora. The future of Avatar.
It was like, I knew it was something in there, but it's like my mind would not let me remember.
Damn, how many times did she break up with people and they get back together? And then at the end of the show, they were just like, hey, you want to go to the room together?
Hey, you want to go to the spirit room?
And you're not even just supposed to invite people to the spirit room like that. That was her problem in the first.
I was like, man, she lost the entire Avatar lineage because of her incompetence.
Yeah.
But you know what? That's a whole episode. But two other things. Have y'all seen Erase?
Yeah.
Yes.
Yes. At the end when she ended up with the other person.
I lied. Lieutenant Goma. And he said, thanks for saving my life. Here's my husband child. Oh, no. Oh, no.
Boy, I watched that with a group of friends. He ended up with the young girl. She's crazy. And then another one, this is a funnier one, but Will and I forgot who his fiance was, but her dad and his mom, when they hooked up in Fresh Prince of Bel-Air. Oh, because it was just like, what was his fiance's name?
Lisa?
Yes, Will and Lisa. So it's like they're about to get married. They're like, no, we can't get married. And then it's like, oh, the parents sleep together, so now you definitely can't get married.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. Also, another one, Peter Parker and Suffering.
They're married, my friend.
No.
All right. For the next question, what's your take on showing off on social media, yay or nay?
Honestly, I'm leaning more towards nay nowadays. Like I don't really use social media like that. Primarily just it's like, oh yeah, let me just stalk them, see how they doing. I know stalking is crazy, but hey, just seeing how people doing, get updates, like get my news on there. But I barely post as much anymore, so
I'm kind of like if you don't have a ring, mostly nay, and then mostly because it's not other people's business.
Yeah,
and then. Also, when people do the big, oh, I love this person, the love of my life, and then when they eventually break up, it's like, oh, please respect my privacy. And it's like, thank you for introducing us into your relationship, and now it's this quiet, sneak out the back door thing when you break up.
So imagine like having to delete all the pictures from your page.
Yeah.
I know that one from personal experience. Really? Never again.
I would say for me, soft launch and then Ray. Those are the only ones. There we go. And see, the soft launch that we're talking about is only because, look, you guys know this, so you can leave me alone.
It's subtle. No tagging, no nothing.
Yeah.
Subtle. That's, yes.
And then the Ray is like, this is permanent and it ain't gonna be nobody else. So I think just those two are good.
Yeah.
And other than that, you have to be in my life to know.
Yeah. Yeah, I agree with that. Just like not plastering everything, not telling everybody else's business. And I feel like nobody really cares like that. Like, oh, okay, we see you, look, this person's all out. Okay, we just keep pushing, and that's it. So I honestly think like a little mini soft launch, like a group picture of them all together.
Yeah.
But like no tagging, no nothing. And then you just keep it pushing. Like none of the little, like, a little hold hands on the Instagram stories.
Yeah.
That's it. And then like pop out when like it's official. Or like there's when there's a rock on the finger, or like a few weeks later after the wedding, and you just post like the engagement photos, and you post like literally, everybody else 2 years high, and everybody was just like, oh, you got married? Oh, I didn't know that. Yeah,
because we didn't want to break.
For real. Maybe in the comments, can't wait for my invitation.
I was like, oh, word? Well, guess you're going to be waiting a while.
All right. Who is your greatest inspiration when it comes to showing love?
Steve Urkel. I'm not talking about Cleo. I'm talking about Steve.
Like Steve or Stefan?
Stefan.
Stefan was,
Fly me out to France. Okay. But nah, he was smooth, very genuine, very considerate. Yeah, very formal. Yeah.
I guess mine would be Morticia and Gomez Adams.
Oh yeah,
from the Adams family. Because, they was passionate and they ain't care about nobody else.
Shane goes out the window. Yeah,
Exactly.
I don't know if this counts, but Helga from Hey Arnold.
She said, "No one will ever love you."
I'm going to reevaluate.
I still remember, you make me tremble.
I don't know if I really have one in like things like that, like greatest inspiration. Oh, just showing,
But like in a passionate way.
I don't know. Cause Peter, he be showing, but he be back somewhere. But then he be picking up, so I'm not sure. Yeah, I don't really have an answer for that one. What high standards do you expect in a relationship or friendship?
High standards.
I guess for me, like one thing is like respect my time. And that goes with both. Just because I've always been like this my entire life with lateness. It's like when you, especially like standing people up and stuff like that, it's like you definitely, people always like what you care about, you'll show up for. Like, how many people show up late to work, but then you'll show up late to like, hanging out with people or something. And obviously, it's not as important. Like, I'm not like a tyrant with it because things happen, but I think that for me is like, just showing up for people, like when you say you'll do it, is like that drives me crazy. It's consistent.
Yeah, I really like your word there on being consistent. Like just the idea of like, hey, it's like, hey, like when, like I can count on you when when the time comes, because trust is, big thing. Trust is like a big deal for me. Because like, hey, trust is really, it's hard to earn, but easy to lose. And when it comes, and it can make or break almost any type of relationship, romantic or otherwise. So when it comes to that, hey, just have trust one another. Yeah.
I think for me, I would say reciprocation is the easy word, but honestly, just consideration. Like, don't make everything on your time when you're available. Only worry about what you want to do, what concert you want to go to. Like, if you're not the type of person to ask, like, what do you think? What do you want to do? It's always your show. I'm going to stop showing up. Because it's crazy. Like, you don't think I have work to do? You don't think I have goals and aspirations to work on? I still make time to check on you. So I think just that aspect of considering what the other person has going on.
So don't make you an NPC.
Don't be the NPC.
I think picking a side and staying there. And what I mean by that is not being wishy-washy. I think I've experienced this in friendships a lot. Like growing up, it's just like you're hanging out with a person one day and it's all cool. And then the next day they kind of look at you like as if you did something wrong or you had a disease or something like that. So I just think like just being honest and being straightforward if you don't want to be friends and whatnot. And I honestly really think just like, standing on one side of the playground, like you either rock it with me or you're not. So not being wishy-washy.
Damn. Hell no.
Passion.
All right. Yandere. Levels. All right. So for the last two questions, what are some dark horse romance TV shows that you recommend? I have one. It's sweet, but it's like so much fan service. The 100 girlfriends that really, really love you.
Oh my.
There's moments of sweetness, but it just devolves into madness.
Want to talk about madness? You really want to go there? Read a girlfriend.
Dark horse that you would recommend?
No, I said that's madness.
Oh.
That is true madness.
I dropped that at the start of season 2. I was done.
You saying dark?
Dark horse. Dark horse.
So like in the deep cut that you want to expect.
Future nerds.
I'm skipping. I don't need to.
All right, so for the last one, what is a surprising character you fell for or had a crush on? Don't all answer at once.
Go ahead.
Sai from Naruto Shippuden.
Okay, interesting.
No explanation.
There's so much.
I just liked his dry demeanor. It worked out for him.
Was it that or was it because he had a crop top photo?
He worked it. He worked it well. And Jacob before the Renesmee situation.
I'm about to say it like that.
Because that was a mess.
But that's like a new level of simping if you think about it. It's like, I can't be with you, so I'll be with your daughter.
And Lord Kudo. For valid reason.
Meech, do you have one?
Yeah, I'm scared to want to say it, but I'll go ahead and say it. And mind you, I was a kid, so have mercy on me. Azula.
Oh, wow.
Listen.
Like for me, then out of control.
Listen, I like power.
Oh, boy. I like power, right?
And she exuded power.
Mm-hmm.
And then, but don't worry, that crush died immediately when I saw she was off the deep end.
I was going to say Lady Esther.
Oh man, what's yours? What's yours?
You want to go first? Because mine's radical.
I really don't have one. But yeah, I don't really have one.
All right, so everyone knows that I was on a Baldur's Gate 3 kick.
No.
So at the start of it, originally I was going to go with Shadowheart. I was like, okay, Shadowheart, she's a good one. But then Lae'zel started speaking to me, and I felt things I haven't felt in my life before. I affectionately named her Maisel. So, Maisel, that was something different. So, I don't know. I think it awoken something in me, but I'm not going to go too in deep into it, sir. What's wrong with you?
You okay?
Nah, I'm good.
Aren't you like?
Aren't you? I am. I mean, I had Maisel. We had our gift-Yankee relationship, and things progressed from there. So, all right. So with that, we will wrap up the mailbag. All right. From there, we were getting into what's hot. I think I broke Meech and everyone else on this podcast. I regret nothing. I regret nothing. The only thing I don't have is a Lae'zel body pillow, which I'm not going to get. So with that, we're going to get to our what's hot in anime, TV shows, movies, and all that good jazz. So ladies, do you have anything?
What's hot for movies? Companion. Everybody go see Companion. It's out in theaters. It's really futuristic, really cool, really dope. Some underlying messages about the patriarchy. Go see Companions.
I would say season 2 of My Happy Marriage because I am locked in. And I'm not going to say that I haven't watched it more than once.
Oh, and also as well, Sims 1 and 2 has come out, has re-releases, so I'm super excited about. So, Sims 1 and 2.
All right, so quickly for me, obviously the Grammys, our queen has finally won Album of the Year.
Absolutely.
Speedrunning, I believe, as of this podcast or tomorrow, as when this releases, Cobra Kai, the finale. It's been a long time. Starting on YouTube Red, we got her. We're on Netflix, about to drop a movie, I believe it's either this year or next year.
This year.
So just completely reviving the Karate Kid franchise. Cobra Kai is one of my favorite shows of all time. Fantastic Four trailer, Jurassic World Rebirth trailer, Final Destination Bloodlines. Final Destination, I'm not ready for it. We're recording before the Super Bowl, so whatever trailers happened during the Super Bowl, and then something on Hulu, Paradise is a really good TV show. Meech.
All right, so this is where I like to come in and hit you all with everything at once. Dragon Ball Daima still comes out every Friday. We're in the last 3 episodes of the series, which by the time this drops, episode 18 will drop in 2 days. We got Invincible Season 3 is finally crashed out. It finally crashed out and I'm only on episode 1. That's crazy. Solo Leveling, Arise from the Shadows, we lit. Poppy's Playtime Chapter 4 release, so if you're into that horror game, go ahead. Marvel Rivals, come at you, boy. I already got a whole squad ready. I am Lord Venom. Come at me. We also have Dragon Ball Sparking Zero. The first DLC didn't dropped. We got Crash Out Gohan, and then you got Tim's Piccolo, and oh yeah, and as we mentioned before, Captain America, Andor, Thunderbolts, all that. Also, we gotta talk about like Ninja Gaiden 2 got a remaster, and that is lit. We got the movie Sinners with Michael B. Jordan that's dropping soon.
That's true.
We got Alien Earth. That trailer then came out. We also got ourselves in the realm of comic books, right? We have Spider-Man. You have the Amazing Spider-Man, which I'm just not even gonna talk about. Well, I mean, hey, he's dying like 8 times. You got Ultimate Spider-Man Peak. You got Miles Morales Peak. You got One World Under Doom. It should be coming out soon. We got this all new Venom Peak, Absolute DC Universe Peak. I'm just gonna keep saying Peak for those. And now the next one is the one that you wouldn't even, that I was surprised about. So the game Destiny 2, right?
Yeah.
So they decided to do a collab.
Ooh. With who?
With Star Wars.
Wow.
Yes. You get Star Wars armor in Destiny 2, and I was like, well, I'm even dust it off one more time. And now I'm a stormtrooper. So yeah, we got that. And in the case you guys haven't heard the announcements, Lil Wayne said he's going to be dropping the Carter 6 in protest of the Super Bowl. And then for all of our NBA heads, I am still in shock over the Luka AD trade. This is the colossal trade that is happening, is taking the world by storm, and I do not know what Dallas was doing or what type of drugs they were on. But and speaking of drugs, Kanye.
We don't need to talk about
it. We need to talk about what Kanye said.
I think he's from the lexicon now.
Man, yeah. But yeah, that's basically it for me.
All right, so just to wrap up with some quick housekeeping again, Captain America Brave New World, our release of it for recording movie review will be out next week. Weekly or bi-weekly recaps of Andor Season 2. Again, mid-season and finale recap of The Last of Us Season 2. And then we will be returning for Season 5 around May 7th for the Thunderbolts. So, Meech, por favor, will you please hit us with the plugs so we can get up out of here?
All right, so for our Instagram, formerly known as Twitter and Threads, we're on the Blurred Series 22. Go ahead, give us a follow, give us a subscription, and be able to be up to date on all of our release schedule. We have our YouTube and Patreon under Blurred City Pod. If you want to donate to the Patreon, you get access to very exclusive episodes never before seen, like my potential rants, as well as what I think on Kanye. And then from there, we have our Discord linked in our Instagram page, where you just experience pure degeneracy and get some unfiltered thoughts on there. Then we have ourselves our email address, blurredcity22@gmail.com. From there, you can submit your own random fan theories, your own geek out, freak outs, your own complaints and everything like that to the podcast. But just know, hate mail gets sent to the spam folder, never to see the light of day. And then finally, we have, for myself personally, I am the Jedi born on Lucifer on Instagram and TikTok. If you guys still have access to TikTok, because if you deleted it off your devices, then, well, really,
It's like Overlord.
basically, easily. But I'm still on there. I'm still trying. So, yeah, that's all I got.
All right, for my individual author pages, we have my ex at the Matt-16, and for my Instagram, Metri_dash, that is METRI_DASH. And if you're interested in my book, Phantom Reckoning, that is available on Amazon and Barnes & Noble. All right, so ladies, can you end us off with some words of encouragement for the listeners?
You just wanted to remind everybody that you are loved. And then also as well, in this life, you have two reasons. You can win with it or you can rock with it. That's it.
There, that one. I have two for you guys. Number one, get your money up, not your funny up, and also love people and use things. I got that from a podcast I've been listening to.
All right. And as we always say, it's not goodbye forever unless you're Montoya. It's just goodbye for now. And that's the Blur City Podcast.
See ya later.